Hi guys, this is Miss Mary from Manhasset Library, and today we're going to read a fun book. It's about an artist. His name is Keith Haring. He was a really great artist, famous artist, and his work was a lot of stick figure type of drawings like this. So our activity today, we're not going to draw the stick figures. I'll show you. We're going to make sculptures like this. You see them? Out of aluminum foil. Aren't they fun? They're really fun. So that's all you're going to need for our activity. Just aluminum foil. But first, let's read the book. Okay. So the book is called The Boy Who Just Kept Drawing. See, that's the type of work that he did. Very fun. There was a boy named Keith. When he was little, his father taught him how to draw dogs and fish and funny things. His dad would draw a line, then Keith would draw one too, and soon the whole page would be full. From that time on, Keith never stopped drawing. In elementary school, while taking tests, Keith doodled on the edge of his paper. And when he handed in his work, his teachers would ask, "Why did you doodle on this important paper?" Keith didn't answer. He went back to his desk and just kept drawing. Sometimes Keith invited his friends to draw in his backyard clubhouse. Keith made symbols and said each one represented a letter of the alphabet. His friends asked, "Why do you use symbols to write?" Keith drew more symbols. It was his way of answering their question. He encouraged his friends to join him. Oh, this looks like fun, doesn't it? As a teenager, Keith liked to draw in his bedroom with music playing loud. He would draw on every piece of paper he could find. His mother had to yell over the music. "Why can't you turn that music down and go outside to ride your bike?" But Keith had sold his bike to buy art supplies, so he answered, "Look at the cool drawings I did." And he just kept drawing. When Keith was in high school, he won first prize for his art. A successful couple from town offered to buy his drawing. Keith said, "No, thank you. If you enjoy my art, you may hang it on your wall, no charge." Keith's sisters were shocked. "Why didn't you take the money?" they said. Keith shrugged. He just wanted to keep drawing. Wow, see? So this is his art, I guess his first famous piece of art, and he didn't charge anything for it. Keith graduated from high school, and he went to the big city of Pittsburgh to a school that would teach him about art. There were boys on the street trying something new called breakdancing. He liked the crazy shapes of their bodies as they turned and flipped on the ground. While the music played loud, Keith started drawing wiggly lines. His teachers asked him, "Why are you drawing pictures that look like scrambled bodies? This is not what we told you to draw." Keith knew how to draw. He just wanted to draw in different ways. So he kept drawing. Then Keith moved to a huge city of New York when he was only 20, so he could draw with other artists. He started to draw all over the city, on walls, on sidewalks, and on paper that he hung on lampposts. His drawings were washed away by the rain and torn down by street cleaners. Other artists asked Keith, "Why do you draw in places where your pictures are erased?" Keith didn't hear them. He was searching for another wall so he could just keep drawing. This is what he did, see? He drew all over the walls like this. He was famous. In New York, he was very famous. Keith got a job delivering packages and sometimes rode the subway. One day, he saw a panel of black paper on the wall in a subway station He rushed outside to buy chalk and came back and began to draw. The white chalk made bright, smooth lines on the black paper. Day after day, Keith filled the empty panels in the subway stations with art. Some people who rode the subways were looking for the white chalk drawings. No one knew the name of the artists, but his drawings were easy to recognize. People asked him, "Why are you drawing here? What do your pictures mean?" Keith said, "What do you see? You decide what they mean." So he made pictures like this on all the black spaces. The black panels that were in the subways in New York. They're very cool. But he got in a lot of trouble for doing it. Where Keith lived, there was trash on the street and people didn't always say hello to each other. One day, he and his friends cleaned up 20 bags of garbage in front of a long wall. Then Keith painted square faces with smiles and body shapes dancing upside down. The neighbors liked the drawings and stopped to say thank you. See? Looks much better than garbage, right? A policeman came by and lectured Keith. "Why did you do this? I have to give you a ticket because you didn't get permission." Keith paid the fine and just kept drawing. Soon people wanted to see more of Keith's drawings and he was asked to display his work in an art gallery. Art was hung from floor to ceiling and in between he painted on the walls. Keith invited everyone to come and enjoy his work. All of Keith's artwork sold. The gallery owner asked him, "What are you going to do with all this money?" Keith said, "I read in the newspaper that there are kids who don't have enough to eat. I didn't have this money yesterday and I was happy. If I don't have it tomorrow, I'll still be happy. All children need to eat, so I'll send the money to them." The gallery owner gasped, "Why?" Keith just smiled and started to draw again. Now people were inviting Keith to draw in famous museums and exhibit in galleries all over the world. He was proud that he had become a successful artist, but wherever he went, Keith insisted he painted a mural so everyone could enjoy his work, not just the people who had so much money to buy it. During a visit to Paris, France, Keith painted on the outside of a children's hospital, 6 stories high. See, there it is. And there he is. That's very high. Newspaper reporters came to take pictures and asked, "Why did you paint on the hospital? Do you think it will make the sick children feel better?" Keith didn't have time to answer. He had to finish the painting. When the Statue of Liberty was 100 years old, Keith drew an outline of the famous statue on a huge piece of vinyl fabric, and then he asked 900 kids to help him finish the drawing. Wow, doesn't that look like fun? 900 kids. Keith told them, "Draw anything, whatever you want. No one can say it's bad or good, it's yours." When the giant painting was displayed, people were amazed to see what Keith and the kids had made. But the art critics couldn't understand why a famous artist was drawing with kids. But you know Keith, he just kept drawing. Keith painted all over the world. He would draw on anything, anytime, anywhere. Wherever he went and whatever he did, he wouldn't stop. He just kept drawing. Now everyone wanted to know, and together they shouted, "Why? Why do you draw all the time? Why do you give your artwork away? Why do you draw on buildings, on people, on clothing, on furniture, on subway walls, on cars, on skateboards, on walls that belong to no one, and on things that are thrown away? Why do you draw on everything?" Keith stopped drawing just for a minute and answered, "I draw all the time because there are many spaces to fill. I give my drawings away to help make the world a better place. I draw everywhere because everyone needs art." Then Keith turned back to the street, took a piece of chalk from his pocket, and just kept drawing. That's it. The end. And then there's some information about him and all his art. He's really cool. That's the kind of work he did, that book behind him. So it was all those stick figure kind of art. So today, instead of drawing any kind of stick figure, we're going to make them with tinfoil. Gotta make these guys. Aren't they fun? It's really easy. All you need is tinfoil. A roll of tinfoil. Almost everyone has it. And a black marker, a Sharpie. So you take one big piece of tinfoil. And move this guy out of the way. About this big, roughly. And then we're gonna, with a black marker, gonna make lines about here and here. So that would be the head. These are two arms. Draw lines here each side. So that's the torso. And a line down here, and this would be each leg. And then you're just gonna rip right on those lines. And it doesn't have to be perfect. Just by hand. I'm gonna do it now. You just rip it down those lines. Okay. I love the sound of this too. These legs. And when you're done with this, it really looks just kind of like a mess. So you start and just start scrunching up parts of it, like this is going to be his head. Don't worry about what it's going to look like yet. Just scrunch that up. This is going to be an arm. Crunch that up. This is going to be another arm. Isn't it fun? And then body is going to be that part right there in the middle. And these are going to be the legs. So you just kind of scrunch everything up really quick first. So he doesn't really look like much yet. And then you start scrunching things up. You can add things on, you can cut pieces off. Like my guy looks like one arm is too long. This arm is too long, so I'm going to cut a piece off. And that's fine. And then you just squeeze everything like this. Keep squeezing everything. We're going to add some more tinfoil to his body because he's just too skinny. You squeeze his legs. Don't worry yet about what he's going to look like or what we're going to make him do. Just squeeze. I'm going to tuck a little bit off his leg too because that looks too long. Now I'm going to take another piece because he looks too skinny to me, like this size. And you can just wrap it around his body and just keep molding like that. And I think his head needs a little piece. So you can put some more on his head. See, isn't this fun? And then you kind of pinch in to get the next shape just with your hand. And now you can start deciding what you want your little guy to do. See, like I made this, I'll show you. She looks like a dancer, I thought. And he looks like he's running. But you can really make him do anything. So I'm gonna make this guy run. But you can add things to him. So then you just bend his arm, make a hand, so make him do what you wanted to do. Like if he was going to be running, one arm would be this way, one arm would be that way, and then one leg would be running like that. Give him a foot. One arm would, one foot and leg would be going back like that. So he looks like he's running. Right? So he looks like he's running. And then when you decide you're finished, take any bottle cap or a little piece of wood, anything really, wrap it in tin foil and glue it onto it. These are just coffee cup lids that I wrapped in tin foil. But any bottle cap or anything you want, and glue it onto whatever it was you used and get them to stand up. Now these are very, very light, so they don't stand up easily. You have to make them balance a little bit. You have to find their center of balance, and then they will stand up. Okay? So there they are. All our little sculptures. I'll add this guy. There he is. Okay, so go have fun. It really is fun. Bye-bye, and I'll see you next time.